गणानां त्वा गणपतिं हवामहे कविं कवीनामुपमश्रवस्तमम् ज्येष्ठराजं ब्रह्मणां ब्रह्मणस्पत आनः शृण्वन्नोतिभिः श्रीरसादनम् ॐ श्रीमहागणाधिपतये नमः। ॐ वृषभं चर्षणीनां विश्वरूपमदाभ्यम् बृहस्पतिं वरेण्यम् ॐ वृषभं चर्षणीनां विश्वरूपमदाभ्यम् बृहस्पतिं वरेण्यम् ॐ तद्विष्णोः परमं पदं सदा पश्यन्ति सूरय दिलीव चक्षुरागतम् ॐ ऐं ह्रीं श्रीं क्लीं हसौः जगत्प्रसूत्यै नमः। Can everybody say after me Hare Rama Krishna 3 times? Om Hare Rama Krishna Hare Rama Krishna Hare Rama Krishna. Before I forget, let me mention that there will not be a class next week. I'll be in New Jersey next Saturday and Sunday, so there will not be a class next week, and we will meet 2 weeks from now again. And another thing is the date today, 12, 13, 14, 21. So on June 21, that is a Purnima again, just Purnima. So that evening around 8 o'clock, basically after starting at sunset, we will have Satyanarayana Vratam, the monthly full moon Satyanarayana Vratam at our house. So if any of you are interested in coming, you are most welcome to come and see the Vratam and take Prasadam. And it will be around 8 o'clock on June 21st. Because there is no class next week, I am telling you right now. If you are interested, send me a mail at pvr@charter.net or call my home number 508-839-1218 and ask my wife for direction. Even if you don't tell me that you are coming, you can, if you change your mind in the last minute and want to come, you are welcome to come. But if you decide earlier, you can tell us so that we know how many people are coming. So you are most welcome for that, and the next class will be on 26th. Now we will continue our astrological discussion. If any of you have any charts where you are confused, where you are not really sure what is going on and you want, where you can, the details are not confidential and you can let the class take a look at them, this is your opportunity to share the data.
I have some confusion about the chart. You don't know whether the timing is a certain time or the other time. They are like 9 minutes apart. Is there any way we could find out that?
You are saying that the two charts that you don't know which is right, and they are 9 minutes apart, those two charts?
Correct. And
okay, that is more manageable, okay?
The Lagna is the same. Most of the things are same.
Yeah.
But the Dasas are different in terms of dates.
Yeah.
So is there any way to know that, or is it too difficult?
Well, 10 minutes is not actually too difficult. 10 minutes, we usually have to contend with 10-minute uncertainty. That's not very difficult. But in some cases, somebody will come and tell you, I was born in the morning. My mom tells that she could see sun in the east. So it must be around 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock or 11 o'clock. Then that is very difficult to figure out. But if you have only 10-minute uncertainty, usually it's not very difficult, even though it's not very straightforward. So we can take up that example. Do you have the data?
Yeah.
Yes. January
10, 1953.
January 10, 1953.
Born on 2016, late 16 in Manchester and England.
Okay. Manchester, UK.
That's one chart.
Okay.
And then the other one is 2025 time.
One second. Let me save this. Can I save it under some name or some initial?
Yeah, you can put it under my SS.
Yes?
SS.
Okay. Yeah.
You can say SS1 and then SS2.
Okay.
Compare it like that.
Okay. Okay. So what is the second chart? I don't actually have to save a second chart. I'll just use the same chart. I can just change the time.
Okay.
So what is the other time?
2025.
Okay. So you want to see. I'll just make a chart for 2020. So it's basically plus or minus 5 minutes.
Oh, you're going to take the 20.
Because if you say that it's either 2016 or 2025, it looks suspicious to me. It could be 2024 also. You see what I'm saying? Why did you conclude that it is one of these two?
Actually, the person born when we saw their Janapatri
Yeah?
said local time 8:16.
Okay.
We are assuming it's Manchester time.
Yeah?
Then GMT time it said 8:25. So that's what we are confused about.
Ah, I see what you're saying. Okay. What is the local mean time? See, local mean time is,
8:16.
yeah, probably what the local time means there, where whoever recorded this chart, he probably did not mean by local time the local standard time. The local mean time. There is something known as local mean time. Before there was a standard time, every place had its own time, based on something known as local mean time. So in the software, when you enter the time, there is this button, use local mean time instead and ignore the above. So when the software, when you say Manchester, United Kingdom, search for it, it will automatically say that the time zone is 00. On the day, the standard time zone was 00, you used in Manchester. But if you say use local mean time, and if you do data again, see it shows 0 hours 8 minutes, rest of GMT. So, based on the longitude, if you look at the longitude, it is basically 2 degrees west 13 minutes. So if you apply 4 minutes for every degree, it is 213 times, basically this is 2 1/4. This 13 can be approximated as 15. So this is basically 2 1/4 degree west. So the time zone will be the local mean time will be off from the standard time, because standard time was defined for 00. 0 degrees 0 minutes. But the actual place is 2 degrees 2 minutes. So on the standard time zone line, if sun rises at certain time, it will be a little later on the other time. So everything is basically delayed. So if you want to use a local mean time, it will be 2 1/4 times 4. So roughly 9 minutes. So that is what they meant basically.
So it is matching.
It is matching. Those two are actually the same. So you could see, in other words, let me show it to you. You could say, enter the time as 2016 and say use local mean time and don't take the standard time zone from the atlas. If you do that, look at the Lagna. It is 12 degrees 10 minutes in Leo, right?
Yes.
Now let me say 2025 and then use the standard time zone, which is 00. And then I did not click this use LMT instead button. I just say 00 standard time zone. It is still 12:10. But there is a small 1 minute error difference that you can see. It was 12:10 and some fraction, now it's 12:11 and some fraction. That is because it's not exactly 12:16, 12:25. In the standard time it was 12:25. Yeah, it's 13 minutes, not 15 minutes. So there is a small difference. Yeah, there is a small error, 2 half-minute error.
We should take the 2016 and use that
LMT or take 2025 and use standard time. I just want to make this clearer for the sake of those who are listening to this audio. This is one of the standard queries that some people in India ask me about the software. They ask me, should I use the local mean time, or because there is a button there, should I use this or standard time? Which is more accurate, they keep asking me. And because so many people keep asking questions, most of the questions I unfortunately don't get time to answer. So I'll take opportunity to answer it. It's not that one is more accurate than the other. It depends on which clock they use to time it. If your watch was calibrated to the local mean time and you use that to measure, to note the time when the child was born, then you should use LMT in the software. Whereas if your time is calibrated to the time in the radio or TV, the standard time in that particular time zone, which is not for your longitude but for a slightly different longitude. In this case, for Manchester, even though it's 2 degrees 13 minutes, the standard time zone is defined as the time of 0 degrees 0 minutes. So if you calibrated your watch using that time and you use that watch to note down the time, then in the software you should enter standard time. So when somebody gives you time, you have to know whether they measured it using standard time or using mean time, the local mean time. So in your example, the gentleman who noted the time in the Janampatri, he basically used the local mean time and he said local time. That's what he meant. Both are same. One is 12 degree 10 minutes, one is 12 degree 11 minutes. And if the local mean time was found more accurately, they would actually be the same.
The reason I asked is because if you see, take this 12 degrees Lagna and 12 degrees Lagna, and you see the Dasa, they are running Ketu Dasa which ends September 11th.
Yeah. No, I don't want to bring that up, but you go home and look at it. But you will find that if you say 2016 standard time, if you don't click that LMT button, if you just enter 2016 and assume that it's 00 time zone, then that is totally different from 2025. There is a 9-minute difference, so there will be a considerable difference in the Dasa. But now there will not be much difference. There will be a minor difference, and that's because this 2016 is not accurate. It's slightly off by half minute or so. So in other words, what I am saying is 2016 local time means 2016 local mean time, which is identical to 2025 standard time, local standard time.
Let me explain that. Look at the globe, right? GMT is 0 degree time. If you go west, the time decreases by 1 longitude degrees, keeps decreasing by 4. So Manchester, for example, is not on that longitude line. It is a little bit off. So when the person recorded in London, where the GMT goes, the time was 25. And because Manchester was west slightly, 2 degrees from the exactly. So 9-minute difference is seen because Manchester was west of the village.
But the thing is, it is not exactly, it should not exactly be 9 minutes. Somebody approximated, because it is 13 minutes, 2 degrees. If you do 13 divided by 60 plus 2, it is actually 2.2166 degrees, not 2.25 degrees. So if you do this times 4, you get 8.866 minutes. So it's that's the difference, 8 degrees and 52 seconds. That should be the difference, instead of 9 degrees. So if you take, instead of 2016, if you take 2016 8 hours, it will be exactly the same as, you will get the same Lagna as you got with the other time. So in other words, these two are not different charts, but they are the same chart. The 2016, somebody basically approximated to the nearest minute when they converted to the local mean time.
If somebody has to say, okay, this person was born at this time,
Yeah.
what time is it?
Usually people, in this generation, people use the clock time, which is based on a particular time zone. Standard time.
England has one standard time.
Okay.
Everybody in England, they calibrate their time based on the radio time. And the radio time is found for that particular line that goes through Greenwich. Not for Manchester or London. Every place has its own time. Used to have in old days. But now people use just one standard time. So that's what the software does when it takes the standard time zone. But in some old birth, if you get a chart from, let's say, 1890, you are looking for the chart of a saint from 1890 and somebody gave you the time. He was born at so-and-so time. They are probably not talking about a standard time. They are probably talking about a mean time, because in those days, people used to calibrate their watches based on their own local mean time. Or if they weren't using watches, and if they were using some other instruments for noting the time, again they were calibrating it for the local mean time, not for some standard time a few degrees away from where they are. Because as far as they are concerned, on the globe they are at this position. They don't care about a time a few degrees, a little west or east of that place. But now for convenience, because we have radios, TVs, we want everybody to have a standard time, we have decided these standard times and everybody in a particular country uses the standard time. So this is actually tricky when you are looking at old charts. Somebody may have already converted the local mean time to standard time and giving you the time. Or somebody may be giving you a local mean time. So when somebody says the time is 8:13 you have to really ask, is it local mean time or is it standard time? If you don't have a convincing answer from the person who gives you the data, if the person was just acting as a conduit between somebody who did all the calculations long back and you, he doesn't know, he's not intelligent enough to know the correct answer, you have to take both into account, both the factors, assume that it's LMT or assume that it's standard time, and then see which makes most sense. So keep that in mind. Sometimes you don't know what was used. And this gentleman in your case was good enough to note both the times and both the time zones, using both the methods.
If a baby was born, say, at 9:44 breaker time,
Yeah.
would we make a chart based on 9:44 breaker time?
When you say 9:44, how did you measure that 9:44? You measured it using your watch, right?
Correct.
How did you set your watch? Based on the radio or TV time? The radio or TV time is not calibrated for Dracood, Burlington, Woburn. They calibrate it for one particular time zone. In the case of the east of US, there is one Eastern Standard Time for a particular line.
So if I had to keep that in, I would say June 12,
Yeah.
2005.
Yeah.
I would put the time 9:44.
Yeah.
And would I check off the LMT?
Don't check it off.
Don't check it off.
Because the time was noted using standard time. Somebody used the TV, calibrated their clock, and they used that time to note the time. So you should not click that button. You should click that button only if there may be some old-fashioned astrologer. He may have converted that time. If you tell him his son was born at 8:30, he may have done that calculation. Okay, the standard time zone used this here is so and so, but the time zone of Dracood is this. So I should correct it by 4 minutes 52 seconds. And then he will correct the time and he will say he was born at 8:34:52. If he does that, then you should click that button if you use that time. Okay? You're welcome. This is something that a lot of people are confused about. Like I said, I get so many mails. People don't, if you read any of Dr. Raman's old books like Hindu Predictive Astrology or How to Judge a Horoscope or some of the basic books, you will have very clear answers to questions like this. But unfortunately, people today are directly going into predictions and don't know the basis, all the basic factors. So they are confused. I get a lot of mails. Should I use LMP, click that button to get more accurate results? They somehow think that it's a matter of accuracy. Which one you use? If you use the local exact zone instead of some other zone, they think that you get more accurate results. That is true only if the time zone was used in measuring the time. Okay? Now any other questions?
So when does this transition happen?
Which transition?
From zoning to time, what is somebody tells me
It's not a particular magic moment. In different areas of the world, different regions of the world, this transition occurred at different times.
So really, if somebody tells me it's 1930, should I just correct it? I don't know.
You have absolutely no clue. You have to really ask, do some research. And the best is, you can never get satisfactory answers. The best is consider both and then see which makes most.
But either way, if you are fixing the chart, it doesn't make a difference what time it is. With the event, if you are fixing it.
Yeah. That's true, but if you have the right starting point, it can help. If you are off by 20 minutes to start with, you may be going further in the wrong direction. At least if you are starting with this is the expected time, you can look at 5 minutes or 10 minutes on both directions and then find a better time. So it's definitely worth. For me?
And also you don't compromise on like making the predictions like, okay, let me take it. All the
and unfortunately, many times I say that you have to rectify, you have to look at events, rectify, and then be confident, then only make predictions. I in real life, so many people ask me, I have so little time, I don't rectify always perfectly. Several times I am not fully confident based on the events they tell me. Still I just pray to God. God, please make sure that my data is accurate, and then I just assume that it's accurate. I just get a hunch that it's accurate. I just make predictions. So in such cases, you better start with the right starting point. Yes.
correctly rectify a chart, you have to be with that person for an extended period of time so that you can capture the essence.
Because just 3 or 4 events may not be sufficient. The equations or inequations you get from 3 or 4 events, they may still not have one-point solution. They may have a big regional solution in mathematical terms. So like Narayan said, if you know the person very well, if you know a lot of things, not just some event dates, but several things about the person, Then you can really confidently rectify. Yeah. Any other questions?
How confident are you about yourself?
I am very confident. Sanjay tried to shake my confidence several times. He would change it by 10 minutes. I said, how could you be born in Vrishabha Lagna? Jupiter in 8th in Navamsa? That's definitely not you. He would shake my confidence, but originally I used to be swayed a little bit, but I am fully confident. Now he stopped. Nothing is my time. He also...
But Sanjay Prabhakaran can change your birth date.
Yeah. Yeah. Instead of saying maybe he was not born at 8:30 but maybe 8:40, he would say maybe not 1953, maybe 1955. But the thing is, don't laugh at him because there are cases where here is also doctored. Like Vajpayee's chart, there are different data floating around with different years. So it's not a bad idea to rectify year also when you are looking at a big politician, because they do celebrate. Some of them do celebrate the right birthday based on the date, but the year they give out is wrong by a year or two sometimes. Some of the big politicians, for various reasons, parents change the date when they are being admitted in school. So change of year is actually not a stupid idea to try when you are looking at a big shot. Okay, any other questions? No questions?
Actually, I have a chart. When I'm looking at the chart,
Then look at it and then we'll see.
you would access the part.
That's fine. If you haven't looked at it, just leave it. If you have any chart that you looked at and you are confused, then we can take it up. Okay, then everybody is clear until now. Now no more questions taken on whatever was covered until this moment, 9:50:28 on sounds okay. Doctor standard time.
Brains are totally empty.
Okay. How many of you know Indian cricketer Sachin Tendulkar? How many of you know when he got married? No big fans here. Okay, good. That's good. Now, let us take Sachin Tendulkar's chart. I was just about to say, when the phone rang, I was just about to say that there is a well-known astrologer, a popular astrologer who insists on a Yahoo group that this data is wrong. This is the standard accepted data. He insists that he was given a different date altogether by the family, and he says that this data is inaccurate. But he refuses to give what he considers the accurate data. He says that he cannot share that data, and according to him, this is a wrong date. But I was going to say that there is an astrologer who thinks this is wrong, but I have looked at so many events, I am fully convinced that this is right, and he is just playing games. I am fully convinced that this is right. And
What you are saying is
I was thinking, whatever I was thinking, immediately the bell rang. Usually, if a bell rings, that's a nimitta to say that, yeah, truth, satyam basically. It means satyam. That is the truth.
Somebody else speaks, then would it be a
It's actually a mixed. I'm not an expert in nimitta, but it's considered a mixed nimitta. In some cases, it actually means that it's true. That is also considered to say that it is true. But, yes. Yeah. Removal of confusion. Yes. It's a mixed nimitta, but in cases like this, it would be considered as the truth. Your confusion has disappeared now, whatever is blocking your thinking. So anyway, let us take this chart. Now, could it be the chart of a sportsman? Yes. The date of birth is, birth data is April 24, 1973. April 24, 1973. 16:28. That is 4:28 p.m. Indian Standard Time. Okay, I don't think the longitude and latitude are accurate because I must have saved this chart long back when I had approximate longitudes of places. He was basically born in Bombay or Pune. I don't even know which one. But yeah, I don't know where. Could be Pune also. I don't really know. But the data I have here, basically I rectified this Lagna based on various events. So if the longitude and latitude are changed, correspondingly Lagna would be changed. But the data I have here is 73 degrees east and 20 degrees north. Okay. This must be inaccurate. But like I said, if you change the longitude and latitude, Lagna will be changed accordingly. The time will have to change a little bit by a minute or so. And then you will get the same Lagna. But Lagna degrees basically I am confident now. And I have not worked with his Vimshotri Dacha or Visapta Dacha up to the accuracy of a few days. I only looked at the Dashas and Antardacha. So they can be inaccurate by even a month or so. So I use mainly Tithi Pravesh and Dasha and Antardacha of various events. Okay. I don't know which one it is, but okay. Let's not speculate. What I suggest is, yeah, find the right place and then change the time accordingly so that you get the Lagna at 6 degrees 21 minutes 10 seconds in Virgo. That is the Lagna that I believe is right. Okay.
I'm not getting that.
Forget it. If you enter the exact data, you will get it.
April
1973, 1628, Indian Standard Time, 73 degrees east, 20 degrees north.
00 minutes.
Yeah, 00 minutes, 00 seconds, 00 sub-seconds. Okay? Now let us see when he got married. Let me make the Tithi Pravesh chart of 1994. He got married either 94 or 95 or 96. One of these 3 years. And I want you to use just Tithi Pravesh, no Dashas, nothing, no transits, just Tithi Pravesh. Look at, actually I haven't looked at all these 3 years, I only looked at the right year, but let us see how the wrong years turn out. So let us look at 94, 95 and 96 annual Tithi Pravesh chart and see which year he got married. Okay? And after we find out which year he got married, I want you to find the possible months or possible dates when he gets married. So, I made the Tithi Pravesh chart of 1994, the annual chart, which is made for May 1, 1994 at 3:45 1 p.m. Could he be married this year? The Hora Lord, the ruler of the year is Mercury. Mercury is the ruler of the year, and in the Rashi chart, he is Lagna Lord. He is in the 8th house with the 12th Lord Sun. And if you are interested in Vivaha Sahamam, the significant point in the zodiac relating to marriage, it is in 28 degrees 24 minutes Sagittarius. Upada is also there, Jupiter owns it, he is in the 2nd house. Is there a chance that he will get married during this year? And if you look at the Navamsha, the 7th Lord Moon is in Lagna, but in Lagna, 7th Lord Moon is afflicted by Ketu and Rahu is in the 7th house. Now, is there a chance that he will be married during this year? How strong is the chance? Basically, when you look at it, do you think he got married this year? Yes, that makes sense. But is it possible that he may be married during this year?
Moon is affected, but the 7th Lord is there in Lagna.
Lagna.
Small chance, but for the affliction.
Yeah. But apart from Navamsa, look at Rashi also. The 7th Lord Jupiter also owns Upada and also owns Vivahasamam. He is in a Venusian sign. Though, and he is in a quadrant from the Hora Lord, the ruler of the year. So he is in good terms with the Hora Lord. He is being affected by him. So there is, do you agree that there is some chance?
Very little chance.
But you are not satisfied that this year you do marry. Okay. Maybe you will change your mind after we look at, because I gave you 3 options. Let's look at all the 3 years and then we will come back here. Let us look at 1995 annual Tithi Pravesh chart. The Hora Lord, the ruler of the year, is Venus. Venus is the Naisargika Karaka for marriage. Okay? And where is he? He is exalted in the 12th house. In Pisces. He is exalted, and he is, which lord is he? He is the lord of the Kutumbasthana, 2nd house, the house of family, and the lord of 7th house. So the significator for marriage, what are you looking for, Narayan? 73. So the ruler of the year also happens to be the significator of marriage, and he is the 7th lord, and he is exalted in 12th house, but he is exalted. Now, in the Navamsha, Jupiter is the 7th lord. He is in the 8th house in Nisha, but he is retrograde, so he gets the effect as though he was in exaltation. He behaves as though he is in Cancer. And Venus, how is Venus? The 7th lord of Rashi chart. Venus is in a Kamatrikona with Lagna Lord Mercury. He is associating with Lagna Lord Mercury, and they are in Upvada Lagna. And do you want to see Vivaha Sahamam? It should already be visible. Okay, you click on this button, this menu, either in this window or go to basics and in the longitude window. Any window that shows the longitude, click the button, say Sahamas. Don't say Natal Sahamas, that will show for the Natal chart. You want to see for this annual chart, so Sahamas, then you will get this and scroll to find Vivaha. Unfortunately, they are not arranged in alphabetical order or something, maybe I should do that. But I know rough order, so I can immediately go to the Sahama I'm used to. If I make it alphabetical order, then my mental process has to again adapt to it, so I haven't done it. So Vivaha Sahama is in 62 degrees, 59 minutes, Taurus. So Vivaha Sahama is also owned by Venus, the ruler of the year, 7th lord and significator of marriage. And what about Jupiter, the 7th lord of Navamsha, because he is opposite, see the longitude. Jupiter is at 20 degrees 59 minutes in Scorpio. So Jupiter is the 9th lord, he is aspecting Vivaha Sahama closely, and in Navamsha he is the 7th lord. So overall, when you look at all these factors, and of course Jupiter is in a trine from Venus, he is the dispositor of Venus and he is in a trine from Venus, aspecting Vivaha Sahama closely, and 7th lord in Navamsha. So now, compared to 94, what is the chance during this year? Much stronger. Okay. If it yes, Kali?
This year doesn't seem to be very significant for me because Lagna is in the 8th house from Natal Lagna.
Yeah.
So normally, like if it is in trines or quadrants, it is a very good year compared to 8th house.
Yeah.
So
Yes, you should consider that also. Kali's point is something, a factor that we haven't really emphasized in this class. But outside the class, in articles, this is a factor that has been emphasized. What that factor is you have to look at the house occupied by the annual Lagna from the Natal Lagna. Do you remember what was Natal Lagna of Tendulkar? Virgo. So from Virgo, which house is this? This is the 8th house. So the result being that whichever house the annual Lagna occupied from Natal Lagna, that basically areas of life shown by that house, they will be very strong during that year. Basically, fruits or blessings or curses relating to that house will be manifest during that particular year. So this is not something that will decide whether a year is going to be really good or bad. This is not a single factor that will shadow everything else. But in general, if you see 8th house, Lagna in the 8th house in a particular year, that will be a year of some hard work, some labor, overcoming some problems because of something wrong that you did previously. That is in general true. But you can also look at who's in the 8th house. When you say 8th house results will be experienced during this year, it is not just the house. Where is the 8th lord? Who are in the 8th house? So all those factors will play a role. So 8th house has Venus. 8th house has Sun, exalted Sun. So results relating to Venus and Sun can be experienced during that year. See what I am saying? So from that point of view, it's not that bad as far as marriage is concerned. But during that year there may be a lot of hard work also. And during that year there may be a lot of expenses also. Because Lagna of the annual chart being in Aries during that year, it will activate Aries in the natal chart, which is 8th house, and also it will activate Venus and Sun. and also exalted Mars to join Jupiter. Okay, does it answer your question? But again, this is just one factor. Other factors are how is the ruler of the year, how is that house, the 7th house is it strong or weak in the Navamsha and in the Rashi chart, how is Upada. So you have to look at all these things and then make a final judgment. So overall, how much chance do you think that what is the chance that you will get married during this year? Very strong. If at all it really happened, because when we go to 96, you may find it even stronger and you may change your mind. But assuming that this is the year, which are the dashas that are likely? Okay, I'll come to you. Which dashas can give this result? Why Venus? Because he is ruler of the year and so strong. Or if you have to pick another planet, which planet? We'll come to Ketu. 1 second. Sriram, you were saying. Why Jupiter? Because he is 9th Lord, 7th Lord in Navamsha, aspecting the Vahasarma. Okay. Why Rahu, Narayan?
Because Rahu is Rahu is the A9 Rashi.
Okay.
Manifestation of Dharma.
Okay.
And the important thing is the year Lord Venus is also the Lord of Venus.
Yeah.
And it is very well placed in the 9th from the Lagna.
Okay.
So, and importantly, it's conjoined, Venus is conjoined with the Navamsha Lagna, in Navamsha.
Yeah. So
These are the reasons I find this year very good.
If Venus is conjoined with, so you are saying that this year is strong.
Yes,
You don't think that 96 is needed to see.
I haven't seen
You haven't seen it, but are you saying that we don't have to see it?
it. No, I need to see it.
Okay, you need to see it. So why didn't you pick Mercury? Because Mercury is with Venus in Navamsha.
Yes, but
He is Lagna Lord.
there are other factors also. Rahu is first in the A9.
Yeah.
Rahu is with Jupiter.
But if Rahu is with Jupiter in the Navamsha, will Rahu give Jupiter's results, or you think Rahu will actually give Jupiter's results, or Rahu will actually try to spoil Jupiter and Jupiter will fight back and win because he is exalted and give his own result? Which one do you think is more likely? Okay, you should stick to your view, but in general, if Rahu and Jupiter are together, will they say, hey, give my result, I'll give your result? Will they say, in general, Jupiter and Rahu? It's very unlikely with Jupiter and Rahu. They will give their own result. Either Jupiter's results are destroyed by Rahu, or Jupiter will fight back and give his result. But it's unlikely that Rahu will take Jupiter's results and give them. Between Jupiter and Rahu, there is no that kind of sauhrudam, that kind of friendliness. It's very unlikely. So from that angle, Rahu is unlikely, but other factors you mentioned are reasonable. So do you think that Venus and Jupiter seem to be getting more votes? Venus seems to be getting the maximum votes, and Jupiter, and then maybe Mercury and Rahu. So is that a good representation of your judgment?
Yeah, Venus is definitely strong.
Okay, very good. Now let us go to 96. 1996 chart. So we concluded that 94 was unlikely to give marriage, very unlikely. There was very minimal chance. 95 we concluded is very strongly likely to give marriage. Probably Venus Dasha or maybe Jupiter, Mercury, Rahu Dasha. And now we are looking at 96. What is the chance of marriage during this year? Who is the ruler of the year?
Sun.
Sun is the ruler of the year.
He is exalted.
He is exalted and he is in the 11th house. He is the third lord. He is the third lord, exalted in the 11th house with the 11th lord. So forget marriage. For a moment, let's forget that we are looking for marriage. Let's say that we are just looking at the chart. Would you say that this will be a great year for him, a year of great gain? And given that he is a cricketer, because third lord is exalted and in the Kamatrikona lord is exalted in another Kamatrikona, third is the house of initiative, drive, and when you are playing cricket, the desire to destroy the bowlers around the world, that should be strong. So when the third lord is so strong and he also happens to be the ruler of the year, do you think that this will be a great year for him? Year of great achievement as a cricketer? Does everybody agree with that? Okay, now marriage. Okay, now let's remember that we are looking for his marriage. We want to get Tendulkar married. So we want to see the chance during this year. So how is the, see, Lagna has significator Venus. 7th house has the Lord Jupiter, is quite strong. In Navamsha, there is a Parivartana between 7th Lord and 10th Lord, but it's not a very nice Parivartana because Mars acts as, moon basically acts as though Mars is here, and Mars acts as though Moon is here in Upada, but Rahu is eclipsing him in the 10th house. So there is some weakness, but Lagna is quite strong with Venus. And let us look at the Vivahasahamam. Vivahasahamam is in Virgo. 25 degrees, 2 minutes Virgo. How close is Rahu from it? He is quite close. So Rahu is actually afflicting the Vivahasahamam during that year, and Shani is also aspecting it. 8th Lord and 9th Lord. So, though Lagna and 7th are quite strong in both Rashi and Navamsha, there are some afflictions also. So overall, do you expect that he will get married during this year?
Yeah, because the 3 years, the second year is very strong.
But definitely, if you know that he didn't get married in 95 and he came to you at the beginning of 96 and showed the chart, there are strong, reasonable chances, right? There are some weaknesses, but there are reasonable chances. Okay. So now, having looked at 3 years, which year do you pick? The middle? Okay. Now let's go to the Dasha. Which Dasha?
1995?
Yeah. So you guys said Venus Dasha. So between September and November, you expect that he got married between September and November? No, just pick somebody who's strong. Venus is definitely strong, ruler of the year. Now let me break the bad news. It was not Venus. Now, what is your second pick? Mercury, he is Lagna Lord in Navamsha and joins Venus. But in the Rashi chart, he is the 3rd and 6th Lord. Yes, he is definitely capable. But do you think he is stronger? Or Rahu in Jena is stronger? Or Jupiter being the 9th Lord here and 7th Lord here and aspecting Vivahasahamam very closely, he is stronger. Which one do you think is more likely? And also, I should change my way. And also, if you look at the Navamsha, both Jupiter and Rahu are in a sad house from Venus. But if you look at Rashi, from the ruler of the year, Jupiter is in a trine and he is his dispositor, whereas Rahu is in the 8th house from Venus. So I told you earlier that to give an important event, the planet should be on good terms with the king of the year. So if you are a good friend of the king, you will get the ear of the king. You can tell the king this should be done and get it done. So given that, looking at Rashi and Navamsha, is Jupiter more likely or Rahu? Jupiter. And also he is the Dharma Lord here and Vivaha Lord here and Vivahasahamam aspect. So do you think that Jupiter Dasha is likely to give marriage? It's possible. It's definitely possible. And which Antar Dasha is likely? Maybe Venus. Good pick. He got married on May 25. So the Jupiter Venus Antar Dasha was from May 23rd to June 6th, and he got married on May 25. Okay. Now let us go to the natal chart again. Let us go to the natal chart. What can you say about wife? Can you say something about the wife? What is the deliberation about? So how do you see the spouse? How do you make judgments about the spouse? You know, if you know, keep quiet.
No, I don't know.
Okay.
It's on,
For me?
he talks all the time.
Why? Why?
Mercury.
Where is Mercury? Where is he exalted? Seventh house from where? Oh, you are looking at Rashi, he is debilitated. Now, look at one thing. Both in Rashi and Navamsa, the Lagna Lord is in the 7th house. Here Lagna Lord Mercury is in 7th house, and here in Navamsa, Aquarius is rising and Lagna Lord Saturn is in the 7th house. So in both the charts, Lagna Lord is in 7th house. Does anyone know the significance of Lagna Lord in 7th house? What is the standard result given by classics? That is basically right. What? Yeah. But there is another thing that is said in classics. If Lagna Lord is in 7, there is a specific result.
If it is afflicted, he may even become a saint.
Okay, I am not talking about that. We have before that. Nijabhanga. Usually one result is if Lagna Lord is in 7th house, the result, one of the results given in how to judge a horoscope is he will be handpicked. Yeah. Oh, you said dominated by wife. I didn't listen to you. Okay. He will be very dominated by the spouse. If Lagna Lord is in 7th house, they will be very attached to the wife. And they will be, the words used by Dr. Raman are handpicked. Handpicked. Very controlled by the wife. Very attached to the wife or husband.
Vice versa will be the other one. 7th Lord in Lagna will be, wife will be, or the spouse will be.
Yeah, you can say that.
And it is both in Navamsa and Rashi.
It is both in Rashi and Navamsa, so it's extremely strong. So one thing you can say is, this gentleman, however strong he may be outside on the field when he plays cricket, at home, his wife has all the weapons. She is the queen. He is very, very attached to her and he just does what she says. Fully controlled by wife. Now, how do you see, if you want to make a judgment about the career of the wife, what wife does, etc.?
The question I am doing
Yeah.
is 7th house is considered as a Lagna.
Yeah.
Or is it
Lagna is the reference for the wife.
Okay. Now let us touch upon something that we have so far not touched upon. A slightly advanced concept. See, I told you earlier that houses are inanimate. Houses don't have a life by themselves. They are just there. They are Kala Purusha. The Kala Purusha, the time personified, just exists. And because of his existence, this whole universe came into being. But it has no potency, no energy, no intelligence. This universe is just an inanimate being when there is only Kala Purusha. But then there is energy, there is intelligence of Narayana, the Parama Purusha. Or some people may call him Narayana, some people may call him Sadasiva, some people may tend to look at him as a feminine form and they may call her Shakti. But whatever they call that energy, it is that supreme energy which is making the world move, which is making the world do things. Otherwise, it is just there as an inanimate being, the whole world. So, houses basically are the limbs of Kala Purusha. They are inanimate. Whereas, the house lords, they are the avataras of Vishnu. We earlier saw that the Ketu is Meenavatar, Rahu is Varaha and so on. So, these house lords will show the intelligence which is driving the matters of various houses. So, we said that, for example, 7th house is marriage. 7th lord is the intelligence that is driving the marriage. So, when you are saying there is a relationship between me and my wife, there is a particular relationship. The inanimate aspect of that relationship itself, is from the 7th house. But the intelligence that is driving it, how am I thinking? How is my wife thinking? How is the thinking impacting the relationship? That is the intelligence that is driving that relationship. So that intelligence is from the Lord, Narayana, Paramapurusha. So you always see the intelligence that drives the matters of a house from the Lord of the house. Now, when I say 7th Lord, is it my intelligence that is driving my relationship or my wife's intelligence that is driving my relationship? Which one is it? Are they different? When I am saying there is a universal intelligence called Paramapurusha or Narayana, and there is a part of it in me, in my wife, in you. So are they different or are they the same? Okay. Pardon me?
That's what the concept based on which we have started, right?
Right.
Sarvam Purusha.
Yeah.
That means it should be one.
But does it manifest in different ways?
Yes.
Yes.
It is the same intelligence that is filling all of us, but it is manifesting in a different way. So at the manifestation level, which is you are talking about Shakti, Maya, the Divine Mother. When you are talking about the manifestation, it is totally different. My intelligence and my wife's intelligence are totally different things. But when I am talking about the actual truth, the real intelligence that is driving our intelligence, it is one and the same. So, how do you see the manifestation then? Just like houses will show Satya, house lots will also show only Satya. They show Narayana. So, just like Bhava Arudha, we have Graha Arudha. So, let me restart this. So, just like we have the Arudhas of houses, the so-called Bhava Arudha Padas, we have Graha Arudha Padas. So, you have, just like you have the 7th house Arudha, you have 7th Lord's Arudha. Just like you have 9th house Arudha, you have 9th Lord's Arudha. So, those Arudhas will show the actual manifestation of an intelligence as a different entity. So, when you are looking at the 7th Lord, it is basically how the Supreme Intelligence is governing our relationship at a true level, at the level of truth, either through my own thinking or through my wife's own thinking or through somebody else's thinking. Somebody may intervene, some elder may intervene in our relationship and may make a difference in our relationship. So, the universal intelligence may be applied through some other being and impact our relationship. Similarly, when I say 4th Lord, my 4th house shows my learning power. When I say my 4th Lord, he shows the application of intelligence towards my learning. Whose intelligence? The Supreme Intelligence, the true intelligence. Either through my own intelligence, my own brain, or my guru's brain, or a student's brain, or even my enemy who will make fun of me and say something that will make me think and make me learn. So it may be through the intelligence of people who are considered to be different beings. All of those will be one intelligence. So when you are looking at the Lord of a house, it is basically the intelligence, the supreme intelligence of the universe applied towards the matters of that house through various beings. Now, if you look at the Lord of that, if you look at the Arudha of a particular Lord, it shows the specific person. So in the Navamsha, if you look at the 7th Lord's Graha Arudha, if you look at the 7th Lord's Graha Arudha, that will show not Lagna, it's not necessarily Lagna, but it shows a manifested intelligence that is impacting his Navamsha, a particular manifested intelligence. So if you look at the 7th Lord's Graha Arudha, it will show the wife. It will show the Maya associated with the wife. If you want to conclude, the wife had a great rise during this year. She became a prime minister. And the father became a president during this year. Our wife became a doctor during this year and cured so many people and got the best doctor award. But things like that, if you want to see things relating to Maya about a specific person, the most relevant thing is the Graha Arudha of the person.
So how do you see that?
The Graha Arudha is found by, just like you found the houses from the house to the Lord, you find the house Arudha. To see the house Lord Arudha, you find from the Graha to the house Lord to the house. And then same houses you count. For example, here 7th house, who is the Lord? Sun. And from Sun now count to the 7th house. From Sun to Leo is 2nd house. So from Leo to the 2nd house, Virgo. So if you take Virgo as the Lagna, you can draw conclusions about the wife. Yes.
In case of, we touched upon this point in case of Sanjay Gandhi.
Yeah.
Because the Capricorn Navamsha with our wife, Moon is in Cancer, so we considered Moon as a Cancer. That's when we touched upon it.
Yeah.
But when it comes to Dwadasa, then we said we consider fourth for mother or ninth for father, but then we touched upon it.
Yeah.
But the thing is, just like AL and Lagna,
Yeah.
the 7th Lord will be will not be like the Lagna, whereas the Graha Arudha of Sun will be the AL equivalent
This is not real equivalent. See, Arudha of Lagna Lord. There is a, see, you have Arudha of Lagna, you have Arudha of Lagna Lord. They are two different things.
No, I'm just saying,
so,
even if it's a similar concept, like if you take the sun itself as the Lagna of the wife,
yeah.
Now you take the Virgo as the equivalent of Arudha.
Yes, exactly. It's basically like an Arudha, but this is not the manifestation of a house. This is the manifestation of an intelligence. So this shows the image, the perception, the manifestation of wife as an intelligent and thinking person.
But when we now take, if you take sun as the, if you take the Cancer in this case as the Lagna, as the reference of Lagna for the wife,
yeah.
or take now the Virgo as the Lagna for the wife,
yeah.
results are going to be different.
Yes,
but,
yeah.
But,
and you should not see the same thing in both.
But when we considered Menaka Gandhi,
because I did not want to teach Arudha then.
No, I understand.
We were satisfied with that.
No, but then the results were true at the time, taking it just the 7th Lord itself.
Yeah. That was our luck.
No, but it was true. No, but then we justified it in brother cancer, father and mother, and
yeah.
even grandfather.
See, let us not go into any more depth on this, but let me just say this. When you are looking at the father in the Dvadashamsha, the 9th house, the 9th Lord, Arudha of 9 and Arudha of 9th Lord. There are 4 different differences. Each is important. It's not that if you want to draw judgments about father, just take this. Because even in our case, forget Dvadashamsha and father. Take your own case. To make judgments about yourself, Lagna is important, Arudha Lagna is important, Lagna Lord is important, Pak Lagna, Arudha of the 9th house is important, 9th Lord is important. All the 4 are important. When I say important, it's not that you just pick whichever makes sense. You want to say he got married in this Dasha. So, from whichever the Dasha Lord when he got married is in the 7th, take the difference and then justify. That's not what I am referring to. When I say all the 4 are important, they can't be used interchangeably. Each has its own meaning. If I want to talk about marriage, and if I want to take one of these Arudhas, it may not make any sense. Each has its own meaning. And you will not be able to capture that meaning, understand and digest that meaning just in 1 second or 1 minute or 1 day or 1 month. It will take some time. Reflect upon it. Try to understand the true nature of Lagna. What is Lagna? What do we mean by it? In the last class I said, it's very tough to understand. Actually, Lagna Lord may be easier to understand than Lagna. Narayana is easier to understand than Kalapurusha. So, I said in the last class that it's very tough to understand what exactly Lagna stands for. It's really confusing. As you evolve, your understanding will also evolve, but you will never have a perfect understanding. So, Lagna Lord and Arudha of Lagna Lord are easier to understand than Lagna and Arudha. But anyway, coming back to the main point, if I want to make it easier for you to understand this, I can only make it easier. I can't make it crystal clear. I can only help you in the process of understanding this. Lagna is the true existence of you. It's the circumstance of your existence. Whereas Lagna Lord is the intelligence that is actively driving your existence. The decision making, the thinking, the feeling, that process. But again, at a true level, not at the level of Maya. So at the Satya level, the intelligence that is driving, the supreme intelligence, the universal intelligence that is driving your existence, that is seen from the Lagna Lord. And Arudha Lagna is the manifestation of your existence. Your true existence as it is visible to the people. They may think he is lucky, he has a lot of houses, lot of cars, that kind of images in the minds of people from Arudha Lagna. Whereas people think he is a very intelligent person, he is a very knowledgeable person. They are not, that Maya is not relating to the Kalapurusha in you. That Maya is relating to the Narayana in you, relating to the intelligence in you. So when you are talking about that Maya, you are talking about the Arudha of the Lagna Lord. So take your own Lagna Lord's Arudha. Take that as reference and see how planets are. That will govern how people's perceptions about you as a thinking, living, intelligent being will be governed, will be changing with time. So that difference is important from that point of view. Pardon me? Arudha of Lagna, same. We covered this in an old class when you weren't attending. So listen to the audio Basically, if I have to say it quickly, from Lagna, see how many houses, which house Lagna Lord occupies. From Lagna Lord, find the same house. That will be Arudha Lagna, but there are some exceptions. You have to listen to the tape on MP3. Okay, now let us look at the wife's profession, the profession of the wife. What does the wife do? What kind of job wife has? Now to see that, I want you to think honestly. Don't be influenced by me. Think honestly. The image of the actual job that the wife does, is she an engineer or lawyer or doctor or cricketer? This particular thing, is it relating to Maya or Satya? What?
That's Maya. Maya.
Okay. How many of you say Maya? The actual job that she is doing, engineer, lawyer, doctor, this classification, is it based on the Satya relating to the wife or Maya relating to the wife? How many for Maya? How many for Satya? You change your mind? No, even you didn't raise your hand.
No, I already had it.
You probably thought that raising a hand is a manifestation, so it's a Maya thing. If it's Satya, you don't have to raise. It is so obvious. Okay, so only you. Okay. Are you really sure it is Satya? What do you mean by lawyer, doctor, engineer? What is this? At the Satya level, when you are saying what is she doing, you are talking about something more subtle. Isn't it more gross, these classifications, more gross than something very permanent, something very subtle. Something that's permanent is always very subtle.
So other thing is, Satya is something that you really can't see.
Yes.
It's only manifestation that you are looking in the Maya world is what that you can.
Right. So this lawyer, doctor, etc. is basically a manifestation. So that is why you said Arudha. Is that what you are saying? Yes. Okay, I agree with you. Actually, my hand also was raised for Arudha, but I did not raise it because then everybody would raise it. What? Okay. So, it's relating to Arudha. Now, more tricky question. Now, when we say that the actual job that the wife does is relating to the Arudha, should it relate to the house Arudha or house Lord Arudha? Is it Kalpurusha manifestation or Narayana's Parampurusha's manifestation? It will not. Pardon me?
House Lord Arudha.
Okay. That is, so you think that we should take the 7th Lord Arudha as Lagna. Okay. Anybody else thinks that 7th Arudha is more important when you are seeing the profession of the spouse? You think so. Why? Try to express it as clearly as you can, even though it's very difficult. You can only feel these things. Yes.
Arudha actually is the one aspect.
But both Arudha of the Lord and the house, both are manifestations. But one is Narayana's manifestation, Parampurusha, one is Kalapurusha.
What is the word of intelligence?
Yeah.
Expressed in the outside.
Yeah. So words image about the manifestation, expression of the intelligence of the person. Is she a good doctor? Is she a good engineer? Is she a very clever lawyer? The image of the world relating to those can be seen from the house Lord Arudha.
Even the type of profession, not exactly. Even that like lawyer, doctor, that kind of a thing can be manifest of the Lord.
Okay, so you are actually you saying that the Lord is important, like Seshu. Who thinks that house is more important than house Lord just for profession?
How Arudha is showing the environment.
It's a circumstance.
But the ecology of the Arudha is showing the intelligence working in the.
Right. So when you are saying lawyer, doctor, etc., is it more relating to intelligence or more relating to the environment?
More in the environment.
Right. Is he a good, intelligent person, intelligent lawyer, intelligent doctor, intelligent engineer? That is from the Lord. So if you want to see the image of the world about the spouse, spouse's intelligence, how good spouse is, how intelligent spouse is, how the spouse is conducting herself, if you want to see the images relating to that, the perceptions relating to that, take the 7th class Arudha as Lagna. But if you want to just see what kind of job she is doing, more mundane, more circumstantial kind of images in the world, in the minds of world, then you should take the seventh house. So if you want to see if she is a lawyer or doctor or engineer or priest, just take the seventh Arudha. So seventh A7, where is A7? A7 is in Scorpio. The seventh Arudha is in Scorpio.
No.
Not Scorpio. Gemini.
Scorpio in
Rashi, in Navamsha, yes.
A7. When you take the seventh of Arudha like that, you take the seventh of Arudha of the principle is that you are taking spouses.
I am not taking spouses Arudha. I am just taking spouses Arudha Lagna, and then I am seeing the 10th from Arudha Lagna.
So you want to take the A7 and then take the 10th from it.
Yes, that's it. So when I take the A7, it shows the image of the wife, image of Tendulkar's wife in the minds of the whole world, relating to her existence. What kind of existence she is leading, the circumstances of her existence. So what is the work that she is doing in that particular existence? What is the profession? What is the world's image? So to see the seventh house. So what are the influences on this? Ketu, Mars, Rahu. And Mars and Ketu are really strong because they are the sixth lord. From Gemini, taking Gemini as Lagna because it contains A7, the sixth house has second lord Moon, and sixth lord, the dispositors of the second house are Mars and Ketu, and they are aspecting the 10th house. Ketu is in the 10th house, Mars is aspecting it. So it will be something relating to Ketu. Yes.
That means for spouse, we are now not taking either the 7th house or the 7th lord or the 7th lord Graha.
We are taking 7th Arudha.
We are taking 7th Arudha. That means there are the 4 aspects now.
Yeah, there are.
The difference, one of the 4 will change depending upon what question on the same aspect we are asking about.
Yes, exactly. And now try to understand the distinction, the subtle distinction between all the 4, so that based on the purpose you know how to pick the right one. So now I am talking about wife's career. So I am looking at A7. In the Navamsha. Navamsha is the third of 4. Forget that. Now, in the Navamsha, from A7, the 10th house has Ketu. It's owned by Jupiter. So it is some kind of sattvic work, but relating to Ketu, relating to, it could be a spiritual kind of career. Actually, you have to keep in mind that when you are looking at father's career, wife's career, mother's career, brother's career, etc. from somebody's chart, you will not get perfect clarity. You will only get the rough area, but she is not really a spiritual, she is not a priest or something, but you can say it is spiritual. It is Mars and Ketu. Mars and Ketu and also Moon. Moon is the second lord in the 6th house. When one Artha Trikona lord is in another Artha Trikona, we said that particular thing is strong, that dominates. So it is Moon, Ketu and Mars. These are the dominating planets. And of course there are so many different kinds of results that you can give for those. But one of the possible results is basically she is a doctor. Is she a psychology person, if I remember right? She is a psychotherapist or that kind of medical profession.
Because of Moon in the 6th house?
Moon and Ketu can also show it. Like you said, spirituality, when you delve into the spirits of people, the thinking of people, the subconscious of the people, and try to understand it, try to help them, that is another way of spirituality. Yeah, first pole. Now, is she an intelligent person in her career? Does she act? Is it an intelligent career? See, when you say Ketu, there are several other careers also. It doesn't. Yeah, it can be computer. It can be even if Ketu is in the 10th house, it can be some kind of lunatic, a wacko, going around the world. What? A headless wacko. That is also possible. So, now again, when you are saying if the world has an image about somebody that he is a headless wacko, is it relating to the Kalapurusha? Is it relating to manifestation or Satya? Manifestation. It's a Maya thing. World thinks that somebody is a wacko. Or somebody is a really, really bright person with so smart that he can figure out things so quickly. So when you are talking about this kind of images about somebody's career, whether somebody himself or his wife or his father, but you are talking about somebody's activities, and relating to those activities, world has this image. Oh, he's a wacko. The way he conducts in the world himself, she's a wacko. Our world may think she's so smart. So when you're talking about this kind of thing, you are talking about Maya, Arudha. That is point number 1. So we should look at Arudha. Point number 2, is it Maya relating to the circumstances of existence? Or is it Maya relating to the driving of those circumstances and changing those, manipulating those? The intelligence part. Is it relating to the Narayana, Paramapurusha or Kalpurusha? Who is manifestation? Paramapurusha. We are talking about the image of the world relating to the intelligence of the person. So you should look at the Arudha Lagna of the 7th Lord in that case first. If you want to see Tendulkar himself, take the Lagna Lord's Arudha. Then you can draw conclusion. But let us see wife. Now you don't want A7, but you want Graha Arudha of the 7th Lord. So for that, let me change the mode to Graha Arudha view. So, oops. There is another Graha Arudha view. Standard view with Graha Arudha. Okay. Now instead of A7, software will show the L7. That shows the Arudha of the Lord of the 7th. So where is L7? Can everybody see it here? So now, if you want to see world's impression about the spouse of this person, but at the Paramapurusha level, not Kalpurusha level. If you want to see that, then take Virgo as Lagna, not Gemini as Lagna. Actually, had Gemini been Lagna, Ketu in the 12th house, 10th house would have shown some kind of headless image. The work she is doing is some kind of spiritual work, some kind of psychiatric work, etc. But the way she does it, if Ketu is there in that particular house, it would have been actually bad. It would have showed some kind of headless approach. But now it is Mercury. The 10th Lord is Mercury. Gemini is the 10th house, a very analytical, intelligent sign. And Gemini is owned by Mercury. He is in a Kendra and he is aspecting it. So, is he in a profession that is considered to be an intelligent profession? Very analytical and intelligent profession, relating to some kind of Ketu circumstances, Piscean circumstances, Martian circumstances, lunar circumstances. So now you can combine both the circumstances and the intelligence. When you combine those, you get a better clarity. Otherwise, if you just say Ketu, so this profession, Mercury, this profession, that is basically very superficial kind of astrology. When you look at the Kalpurusha's manifestation and Paramapurusha's manifestation, it is more subtle. You are getting closer to the truth with this approach. So, like I said earlier, this is not very trivial or very easy to understand. These concepts of what Kalpurusha really stands for, what Paramapurusha really stands for, what is the Shakti associated with Kalpurusha, what is Kalpurusha's manifestation, what is the Shakti associated with Paramapurusha, what is Paramapurusha, the intelligence's manifestation. What do we mean by these 4 things? Animate, inanimate. Animate manifestation, inanimate manifestation. What are these 4 angles? What exactly they stand for? I tried to help you by giving you some guidance. But you can make further progress only if you reflect on it, think about it, and then do not jump to conclusions. When you get some clarity, just sleep on it and then think about it more. This is something that can evolve with time. You will never get perfect understanding. Nobody has. But you will get closer and closer to the perfect understanding. And then, with this kind of approach, your clarity in astrological predictions are not just predictions, understanding yourself, understanding people around you, it will improve a lot. So try to understand this particular concept when you go home. And of course, you can take the 7th house itself, or the 7th Lord himself as Lagna and draw some conclusion. But those are about the Satya, the relationship itself, the actual true relationship itself, and the actual intelligence driving the relationship. So those are more subtle. Whenever you are talking about Satya, it's actually subtle to understand. Whenever you are talking about Maya, so easy to understand. We can relate to it much better because we are so accustomed to Maya that it's so natural to us. Whereas Satya is very unnatural to us. It's buried inside us. Okay? Any questions so far? Only on things today. You can't ask on things for today. Oh, you want the software help? Okay. Click on the chart in which you want to see the Lord's Arudha instead of House Arudha. click the mouse, right mouse button, get the pop-up menu, go to choose a view. And then in this there are so many different views. Upagraha view, Graha Arudha view. There click the standard view with Graha Arudha. The standard view will show with normal Arudha, Dhava Arudha. If we say standard view with Graha Arudha, it will show this large. I did. I already introduced. So go back and download the MP3 and listen to it.
Will there be some of the planets own two houses?
Yeah.
I see only L12. They are not many.
What? You see only what?
L12.
Yeah. L12 is the Arudha of Saturn because of 12th house. L1 is the Arudha of Saturn because of 1st house. Both are for Saturn. You see what I am saying?
Okay. So it can't be two.
Yeah. For each house, well, for 10th house, Arudha, you could take Mars or Ketu as the Lord.
Right.
So there are, I don't know how I programmed it, but ideally, you should take only Mars for the Arudha. Arudha of the Lord of that particular house. L1 is the Arudha of the first house Lord. L2 is the Arudha of the second house Lord. L3 is the Arudha of the third house Lord. And in each chart you will have a different set of Arudhas. If you go to Dashamsha, you will have this L9, L7, L1, etc. Yeah, you look at Rashi chart also. You can look at all charts. Okay. Now, for example, forget it. So, the bottom line is, let me summarize again. The houses will show certain matters at the level of truth in the domain of Kala Purusha, in the domain of inanimate existence. House laws show the intelligence that is driving the matters of that particular house in the domain of Parama Purusha, Narayana, the supreme intelligence of the universe. So this is what is making things move. This is the driving force behind things. This is the intelligence. And the Arudhas of both will show the Maya. When I say Maya, the manifestation. Without the manifestation, if the Devi, the Shakti did not decide to make the world manifest, make the intelligence as well as Kalapurusha manifest in this world in a bounded way, they are not bounded. They are just infinite. There is no, this particular manifestation of this particular person would not have been there. So, when Shakti interacted with the Kalapurusha and Paramapurusha and created this manifestation, Arudhas basically show that manifestation. And again, Arudha of houses will show manifestation of the circumstances, and Arudha of the house lord will show manifestation of intelligence. How the intelligence acts in a tangible way to the world. The tangible manifestation of intelligence, so that world can feel that intelligence. When I say my trophy, I got a trophy, that's the tangible manifestation of my ability. It's a circumstance. But when I say how I won the trophy, how I ran well and won the trophy, that process of doing something to get the trophy, that is again tangible to the world. Wow, he ran so well and he got the trophy. When world is saying, oh, he got a nice trophy, he won the first prize. When they are talking about the first prize, they are talking about something tangible, but tangible, inanimate thing. When they say, wow, how fast he ran, he really deserved the trophy. He was so behind, but he caught up in the last 10 seconds. The world says that running so well in the last minute is something that's tangible to the world, and it's not inanimate. It's animate. Not animate. There may be a pun there when I say animate and running, but not in that sense. Basically, animate in the sense that there is some intelligence driving it, making it happen. So that tangible manifestation is a house lord manifestation. Is a quality of house lord manifestation. So when you look at various L1, L2, L3, etc., they show various people. And we don't use all of them. L1 is usually you yourself in that particular area of life. how intelligent you appear to the world during in those matters. So you see that from L1 in various divisional charts, and then various other Arudhas will show. For example, who will L9 show in Dasamsha? Can anybody take a guess? Boss. Excellent. For me? Yeah. It's basically boss from the point of view of the intelligent existence. The tangible intelligent existence. Intelligent existence in a tangible way. As far as that aspect is concerned, Narayana is laughing because I am massaging the words to come up with the right words. So I think my tangible intelligent existence made Narayana smile during this particular moment because he comes Prananta to manifestation. Yeah. The tangible manifestation of my intelligence. So I think we had an overtaken Jyotish of Arudhas today. So we'll leave Arudhas. Think about it. Think about the Graha Arudhas and Bhava Arudhas. Reflect on all these four aspects. And sometimes we use the wrong one to make a judgment. We know what is what, but because we are in a hurry or because of various limitations, because during a particular time our intelligence is crowded by Rahu or crowded by somebody else. So because of various reasons, we make misjudgments at sometimes. But when we are lucky, still our prediction may turn out to be astoundingly correct. But all that is good. But try to be truthful. Try to be honest. At least when you are trying to understand this, when you are looking at examples, try to be honest and see why this, why that. Then your understanding will grow. So try to reflect on these Graha Arudhas and do a little bit of work on this.
When we are talking about the house from the AM,
Yeah.
how does that reflect when we now consider the Graha dimension?
Consider that?
Within the house from the Arudha
Yeah.
will reflect the image that people have about this
That particular house. Yeah. Yeah.
So how does that come into picture when we take the Graha Arudha?
Again, you take houses from Graha Arudha. See, Arudha Lagna, my Arudha Lagna will show the tangible manifestation of my existence. The inanimate part of my existence as far as world is concerned. How lucky I am, all those things. And houses from that will show qualities of that. They will qualify it. The second house will show the resources of it. Third house will show the drive of that particular intangible, tangible manifestation of the Kalpurusha inside me. So these various houses from Arudha Lagna show various qualities of myself. Okay? Similarly, if I take the 10th house Arudha in my own chart, it will show 10th house is my work. So it will show the tangible manifestation of my work, the circumstances of my work, my workplace, etc. Again, it's inanimate. If you say 9th house, what is 9th house? The guidance that I get, let us say, the protection I get.
That question is, when we are considering the Arudha of the house, when we check that, we are saying A7, A5, A6.
That is a totally different thing now.
Different one. But
Yeah.
when we took the image of other people's thing, then we took the difference from AL.
Yeah.
So what
Yeah.
is the equivalent of AL when we consider this here? Is it the
AN's equivalent is L1.
L? Okay, so take the houses from L1.
Take the houses from L1. Okay? Take the houses from L1. Now you can say, is there an Arudha of those houses? Then I am not going there. Yeah. That's basically, in software terms, that's basically too many levels of indirection. Because, let me finish that. For example, let's say A10 shows the workplace. Then let us say it shows many things. One of the things is workplace. So, the houses from A10 will show qualities of workplace, various qualities. Second house from A10 will show the resources at the workplace, resources of the workplace. Now you can say the Arudha of that to show the tangible resources of the workplace. So you can keep doing this, but there is no dictum anywhere in the classics, and also, like I said, it's too many levels of indirection. So let us stick to now the Lagna, Arudha Lagna. Lagna Lord, Arudha Lagna Lord. And we can take houses from all these. And in addition, you can take the Arudhas of various houses from Lagna. And they will show various tangible things surrounding you. That's it. These are the 5 aspects that we are considering. You understand? So A5 will show the tangible manifestation of my ability. Some trophy that I won, some certificate that is hanging on my wall, some memento that is sitting in my cupboard. So that is A5, the tangible inanimate object. That is A5. Fifth from AL, fifth from Lagna is my real ability. Fifth from AL is the perceived ability of my tangible inanimate manifestation. And Lagna, fifth from Lagna Lord is the ability of not just my inanimate existence, but the Paramapurusha inside me. The ability of the Paramapurusha inside me. The ability that the Paramapurusha endows me with. That is fifth from Lagna Lord. And finally, fifth from the Lagna Lord's Arudha Pada is the abilities, perceived abilities in the minds of people about the tangible manifestation of my intention. The Paramapurusha inside. So, these are the 5 different aspects. So now our parameters have increased. So in order to use them judiciously and not get mixed up in them, and always, if you get mixed up in them, if you say, he got married in Mercury Dasa, is Mercury associated with the 7th house or 7th lord? Well, if I take Lagna Lord, okay, so I'll take Lagna Lord and say he got married because of this. Then if we start doing it, every event will make perfect sense. But every prediction will be perfectly impossible. Because you don't know. Mercury, can he give marriage? Yes. Jupiter, can he give marriage? Yes. Venus, can he give marriage? Yes. So everybody can give marriage. So it will be very difficult to make predictions. So you have to, and also you want to look at career. From Lagna, Mars is in the 10th house. From Lagna Lord, Rahu is in the 10th house. So if you mix up like that, then predictions will be difficult. So make sure that you are not caught up in any mix-up. Make sure that you understand the distinction between them. And until you do that, stick to the old method. Just take Lagna, take houses, Arudha Lagna, houses, forget everything else. And then continue to make predictions, because they will be reasonably okay. But as you do tapasya, as you do meditation on this, as you contemplate on this, there will be more clarity in your brain. Okay? And in this kind of concepts, if you want real clarity, pray to Dakshinamurti. The Om Shreem Dhreem Medha Dakshinamurtaye Namah. Do that. Om Shreem Dhreem Dhanla. Om Shreem Dhreem Medha Dakshinamurtaye Namah. Either that mantra or pray to Jyotish Brahma. The mantra Om Shreem Sha and then La and then Eem. Sha La Eem. Om Shreem Dhreem, again the same bijakshara. Dha La Eem. Dhreem Jyotish Brahmaya Namah. So meditate on either Jyotish Brahma or Dakshinamurti. Because this is, pardon me? Shleem. In Jyotish Brahma it is pure Ida Nadi. In the case of Dakshinamurti, the Sha bijakshara is used with the Pingala Nadi, and then Dha bijakshara is used with the Ida Nadi. Yes. Oh, which one? Dakshinamurti or Jyotish Brahma? Dakshinamurti. Om Shreem Dhreem Dha La. Dhreem. Yeah. Sorry to those who are listening to the audio. Om Shreem Dhreem OM SHREEM DHLEEM Shreem Dhreem Medha Dakshinamurtaye Namah. That anybody can get. Medha Dakshinamurtaye Namah. Basically, there are various bijaksharas, all the different aksharas of the Sanskrit Aksharamala, Sanskrit alphabet. They basically activate various joints, Nadi joints in the body. Not just physical nerves, but there are Nadis which are not physical, of the Sukshma Sharira, of the Sati body. So those Nadis are joining in various places in the body. And for each joint there are special aksharas that activate, that remove any obstructions in those joints and make the energy flow smooth through those nadis. And Dhakara is an important bijakshara for the brain, for the Dhishakti. That is why it's called Dhishakti. And also second letter, you can use either Ra or La. there are several other things, but La and Ra are most popular. And Ra is for the Pingala Nadi on the right hand side, and La is for the Ida Nadi, which is on the left hand side. Pingala Nadi is associated with structured learning, structured things, logic. It is fire basically. It is governed by Surya. It is fire, and it is very structured, rational, analytical kind of thing. And Ida Nadi is unstructured. It is intuitive. There is no logic behind it. It is very intuitive, abstract, suddenly happens, no path, basically you learn in some random path. So that is Ida Nadi's nature. That is Jaratattva. That is ruled by Chandra. And actually in the neck, basically, the Ida Nadi, all the Nadis basically cross with the Pingal Nadi thing. So the left brain actually governs the right Nadi portion, and the right brain governs the left Nadi portion. And even modern science recognizes this. Not with respect to nadis of the subtle body, but even with respect to the nervous system of the physical body. The modern science acknowledges that most of the nerves on this side are governed by this brain and vice versa. And they say that people with a predominant right brain are very intuitive kind of people, and people with a very strong left brain, they are very mathematical, very analytical, very structured. They want some procedures. If you don't have a clear procedure, they feel uncomfortable. Whereas people with a strong right brain, they feel uncomfortable with the procedure. They want to be free, like water. So these are the things. So Lakara activates the Ida Nadi, and Rakara activates the Pingala Nadi. So the same Ka, you can say cream or cream. For Kali, you can say cream. That is, you are activating the Agni. But for Krishna, you can activate the Jala. You can say clean. So there are the same Bijakshara based on which Nadi you are activating in, it can give slightly different results. Any day. Thursday is particularly good. But any day is fine. Any day, any time. Every? Then the Hora changes. And the second one is, for Jyotish Brahma, it is basically this, but slim, not slim. It's not Sa, but it is Sha. It is neither Sha. The North Indians will call it Shreem or Shleem. They will say Shakara. And some South Indians and especially people from East India, Orissa, Bengal, they tend to call it Shreem, Shleem. They call it as Sa. There are three letters, Sha, Sha, Sa. They are totally different. It should be Shakara, Sha, as in Saturn. Not Saturn or Saturn, but Saturn. So Sha. So Om Shreem Dhri. Om Shleem Dhri. And also the last thing, Sha, Ra, and then the E. They can be E, they can be R. You can say, for example, Dham, Dhim, Zoom. There are so many different vowels. Different vowels have different energies. I is usually used as a bija for creation. E is used for sustenance, filling with energy. It is a Shakti bija, Ikara. U and O are usually used as destructive bija, basically Maheshwar bija. They basically remove things. If you are trying to remove some poison from your body, not physical body but subtle body, you are trying to cleanse something, then in those cases, for destroying something, U may be more appropriate. So, for example, they can be Hrum, that kind of bijakshara. So there are the exact letters, the vowels you use is very important, the Lakara, Rakara is very important, and then the actual consonant is very important. And Dhreem is a very good bijakshara. Even if you don't have any mantra, just keep saying Dhreem, 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 you will feel certain energies in your brain. So if you try doing it for a couple of hours, you will see the difference. But if you want, instead of messing with the bijaksharas, if you just want the Dakshinamurti to take control of that particular chakra within your, this particular minor chakra, instead of just activating the chakra and not knowing what to do with it, you let Dakshinamurti take over. Then use this particular mantra. Okay?
But you can decide any time?
For me?
You can decide any time, or should there be any procedure?
There are different scholars holding different opinions. I am not really qualified to give a clear guideline on this because I am only an astrology teacher. I am not a spiritual guru of anybody. I am not a spiritual person. But in my judgment, mind has to be pure. You can do it anytime, any day, any state. But because some of these are really powerful, maybe it's a good idea to have a proper pose, Sukhasana or Vajrasana, Siddhasana or Vajrasana or Padmasana or something. And then try to keep your back straight. that may be helpful. But I don't think there is a particular time when you should do it. You can do it any time. But if you have a spiritual teacher who tells you certain things that you can't do without taking bath, without sitting in front of God, or any such guidelines, if you are given, follow it. Yes, go ahead. Go ahead, please. Can you speak loud so that it's recorded?
Any example, the person when they smoke cigarettes in the temple or gets, he said, no, you cannot do it because cigarettes thing. And then he said, can I think of God when I'm smoking? So priest said, yes, you can always do it. So it is not related. God can be thought of things anytime, any place. There is no restriction. That's what I want to do.
Good. So that is the way, that is the same view that I also hold. But some people have an opinion that for certain things you have to follow some kind of procedure. So if they have such belief, they can follow them.
One thing that is, mantra starts with an Om, then you need to follow a ritual. It has to be after you take bath, you sit in place, not driving the car.
Okay. But there is also another view that if you say Om at the beginning of a mantra, you are inviting Brihaspati, he will clear any mistakes you do. For mantras that don't have a Om in front of them, you have to follow clear procedure. That is another view I have heard. If a mantra has Om can cleanse any other mistakes you do. So you can do anything, anytime, anywhere. But only with mantras that start with, for example, Kleem something. There is no Om in the mantra. Then you have to be even more. For example, Krishna's, there is a mantra for Anahata Chakra. Does anybody know? Krishnaya Gopijan Vallabhaya. For that mantra, for example, for that kind of mantras that have no Om, some people say that then you have to be really follow the procedure. Otherwise, there can be some toxins accumulating in your subtle body. Whereas if you say Om, it is a very cleansing kind of sound. It is owned by Brihaspati. Out of all the sounds, Om is owned by Brihaspati. So when the Guru's protection is there, everything is cleared automatically. So that is another view. And like I said, I am a normal person and I only know a little bit of astrology and I share it with other people. I don't want people to be under the illusion that I can clear all their spiritual questions and give them clear guidance. For that, find a Guru. Any other questions? Okay, let us actually finish Tendulkar. Yeah. How is 1998 for him? Let us say he was going to a tournament around second half of April 1998, and you had this chart and you were making a prediction on how he will do in the tournament. How will he do in the tournament in 1998? Does anybody know what happened in April 1998? Okay, then you keep quiet. What? What World Cup? What World Cup? 99? 99 or 98? 99 in England. His father died that year, yeah. Okay. 98. So you don't know what happened in 98. Good. Is it possible that during Sanidasa, there will be a lot of intense cricket and he will do well? Who is the Hora Lord for the year? Who is the Hora Lord? Saturn. How do you know? Before I change. Okay. I see. Look at Shani. Shani is the ruler of the year and he is the third and fourth lord. He is a functional malefic, but he is debilitated in the sixth house. If the third lord is debilitated in the sixth, is it good or bad? It is extremely good. If the third lord is debilitated in the sixth house. So he is with Mars and Sun. Basically there are several malefics in the sixth house from Lagna, and in the from Arudha, how are they? They are in the third house. So there are 3 malefics in the 6th from Lagna and 3rd from Arudha Lagna. So is it are those planets auspicious from the point of view of cricketing? So destroying the bowlers during that year, they are auspicious. And the first Dasa, the ruler of the year is Saturn, and his Dasa was running at the very beginning of the year. So would you think that when his birthday was on April 18 that year, if I remember right? April 18 was his birthday. So do you think that from April 18 to May 6, he will do exceedingly well in cricket during that year? Yes. Based on this, there is no doubt. And during that time, India was playing a tournament in Sharjah. I think Sri Lanka, Australia was there. And India was almost eliminated from the tournament. Everybody thought India and Australia will play. But it looked like Sri Lanka was going to play Australia in the final. And India was playing a game with Australia, the last game in the league. And India had to win that, and that too with a particular run rate. In order for India to go into final, Tendulkar made 140 something on that day against Australia. And he took India into final with that. And the next day or 2 days later, there was another match, the final of the Sharjah Trophy. And he made another century again, and India won the tournament. He made back-to-back centuries. And now people say, Tendulkar plays well, but he never won matches for India. He took them into final single-handedly, and he single-handedly won the trophy. But people forget everything that happened 6 years back. They focus on the last 1 year or 2 years. Pardon me?
People's memory is short.
People's memory is short. So, let me give another example. Let us take the year when his father passed away. Let us quickly see, because I want to show a few events in the next 5 minutes. Let's quickly see. During this year, is it possible that father will pass away? Pardon me? Yeah. His father passed away in Sanidasha. When he was in the World Cup, his father passed away. He had to go back for the funeral. So, is Saturn capable of doing anything to the father? Yeah. So, Saturn is in Aries. He is with Mercury, the 9th Lord Mercury and Sun. Significator of father is Sun. So, if you see that the 9th Lord or Sun is affected by malefics in the Rashi chart in a particular year's annual cycle, you can suspect that there is something bad possible for the father, and bad health or anything. And here Sun is closely affected by Saturn, and also 9th Lord is also right there. And if you look at Dvadashamsha, the 9th Lord of the Rashi chart is in the 8th house. Actually, Dvadashamsha will also have it. Because I saw it the other day, I was writing about it, so I know. So, in the Dvadashamsha, the 9th Lord Mercury is in the 8th house. And the 7th house has Mars. So, is it basically, is it possible that on account of father there will be some unhappiness during this year? When you have the 9th Lord in 8th house or 4th Lord in 8th house, there can be some misfortune relating to that particular parent during that year. So, is there a chance that his father passed away during this year? No. If you want to see father's death, the physical death of father, what should you see? Lagna or the 9th house or 9th Arudha, or what should you see? The physical death of father. Pardon me? Arudha of the father. Is it intelligence or circumstances? The Kalapurusha. Graha Arudha or house Arudha? Is it the intelligence or is it the inanimate existence called father which is dying? Why intelligence? Pardon me? It's Maya that is true, so we agree that it is the Arudha that is destroyed. But is it the intelligence that is destroyed or is it the inanimate existence that is destroyed, or both?
No, I think
Okay, you have a very good point, but too subtle for the class. So, what does the class think? Is it the Arudha of the Lagna that is destroyed or Arudha of the Lagna Lord that is destroyed?
the truth is the entire Maya is destroyed.
Yeah.
Because that means if Maya is destroyed, the manifestation is also destroyed to go there.
So what happens to the Paramapurusha? that was driving his existence is destroyed.
We believe in rewaving. Rebirth, and the intelligence is carried over.
But intelligence is carried over, the true intelligence. But the manifested intelligence is gone. The manifested intelligence, there is a thinking intelligent person called so and so. What is Ramesh Tendulkar? He passed away.
No, because it's still the image of that person.
Yeah.
The image of the person is still alive.
Yeah.
So the manifested intelligence is still alive in our head. But however, the physical body is one.
Okay. So is the Kalpusha that is destroyed? Good. Very good. Now, if you see, so where is the, so let us switch to the other Arudhas. Let us go to the standard view. Where is A9? Where is A9? It is in Aries. Now, from, if you look from Aries, are there any Maraka combinations? Do you see death during this year? If you don't, then something is wrong. Do you see death? How do you see death? 7th and 8th houses, right? 8th house is the house of longevity, 7th house is the house of death. Venus is the Lord of house of death, Lord of the house of death, 7th house, 2nd house. He is in 4th house, nothing special about it. But what about 7th house? Who is there? Ketu. Which house does he own? No, not 2nd. From Aries, A9, he owns the 8th house. So 8th Lord is in the 7th house, that too Ketu, the planet of dissipation, the planet of burning down. So he is the 8th Lord in 7th. Whenever you see 8th Lord in the 7th, it's a combination to be careful about. It's a combination of death. Or 7th Lord in 8th, vice versa. 7th and 8th Lord changing places is very inauspicious. So you can say that there is a very strong chance for father to pass away during this year. And even in the first house itself, there is an eclipse going on of moon. So overall there are, apart from Saturn, ruler of the year, not ruler of the year, Saturn afflicting Sun and Mercury in the Rashi chart, even in Dwalshamsa you have some indication. So his father passed away during this year. And let us take 2003 annual chart. This is a prediction that I actually made on one of the Yahoo groups. During 2003, Tendulkar did well in the World Cup, but in Test cricket, for the rest of the year he did very badly. And in the entire year he made only 153 runs, which is very low for somebody of his stature. Actually it is too low even for bowlers. For example, Sri Lanka bowler, Sri Lankan off-spinner, Muttai Muralitharan, he made fun of Sachin Tendulkar at a awards function in December 2003, at the beginning of January 2004, that this year I scored more runs than Tendulkar. So he made in Test cricket, of course. In one day he made a lot of runs. In World Cup he did very well. So during 2003 he had a terrible year. But let us say we were looking at his Dashamsha, and we know that there are two test matches being played between December 26 and January 5. There is a test match for the Boxers Day in Australia. India went to Australia at the end of 2003. They played two matches, for the Boxers Day and for the New Year. So there are two test matches, and you are looking at Tendulkar's fortune, and you want to see if he will do well or the bad run will continue, whether he will come back to form during those 10 days, during those two tests. So if you want to do that, see the Dasa. See, from December 26 to January 5, exactly during those two test matches in Australia, I think 3rd and 4th, Sydney and, second and third test matches. Second and third, Melbourne and Sydney test matches. So you are a cricket fan. But that test series was the most amazing cricket I ever saw in my life. Even one day cricket doesn't come close to that test series. It was brilliant, that particular series. So during December 26 to January 5, he was running Moon Jupiter Antardasha as per the annual Dasha, and look at Dashamsha, the chart of career. So, is there any yoga given by Moon and Jupiter? What? Chandra Mangala. Of course, Jupiter causes Mangala, auspiciousness, but he is not called Mangala. Gajageshwar Yoga. So, Moon and Jupiter are causing Gajageshwar Yoga. Gajageshwar Yoga usually gives long-lasting fame, important results. But any other yoga? Is it only Gajageshwar Yoga? To see whether it matters, see what lords they are. Then you see whether it matters. Which house lords are there? Is it a Raj Yoga? Fifth and what other house? Jupiter owns this house also. You are forgetting 5 things. So Jupiter is the 8th lord. Moon is the Viparita Raj Yoga is there. 8th and 12th lord conjoined in the 12th house. When you are talking about Viparita Raj Yoga, it better be in a Dusthana. Had it been in Lagna or some other place, it would have been weak. Being in a Dusthana, it is very strong. It is a full Viparita Raj Yoga. And this particular Viparita Raj Yoga is occurring along with Gajgesar Yoga. So, what does Viparita mean? Viparita means reversal. So, there will be some kind of reversal of fortune from one extreme to another extreme. So, if he was struggling until then, would you expect that during that period, his struggle will be over and he will make lot of runs? So, I had predicted on the Yahoo group that during these 10 days, he will make a really high score during that time. And he indeed made, I don't know, you probably remember, he made 240 runs not out in the first innings at Sydney. In the second innings, he made 62 not out. So it was 302 runs without getting out. And it was between January 2 and January 3, January 4. Those were the 3 days when all those runs were scored. So that was almost twice the number of runs he scored in the previous year, just in 3 days. So that is the result given by the Viparita Raj Yoga. Now let us see how is this year for Tendulkar. There is a Pakistani astrologer who was looking at some stars and he predicted that Tendulkar will retire this year because he had a tennis elbow on his left hand, right? Tennis elbow. Especially elbow hurts. So some of the strokes he is not able to play very freely. That is why in the last year or so he made a couple of centuries last year. 119 Pakistan, actually 3 centuries or maybe 2 centuries. He made last year 2004 he made 940 runs. So he made lot of runs and very good average, 90 plus average. So lot of runs at a very high average, but he is not playing freely like he used to do earlier. He is basically playing second fiddle to other players. And even though in terms of average and runs, he did much better than any other year, people still think that he is not doing very well during this year. And it is basically true. If you don't look at numbers but look at how freely he is playing, it is basically true. And from that point of view, let us see how this year is. So because of that, he actually had a surgery this year. And this astrologer from Pakistan predicted that. Of course, you can say that because he is a Pakistani, he wants to make it to retire. No offense to Pakistani friends. But you can no longer say it. Given the prevailing friendly environment between India and Pakistan, I could no longer say it. So let us not say it. So this Pakistani person thinks that, Pakistani astrologer thinks that he will retire. So how is this year? And we are Tendulkar fans. We want him to play for another 16 years. So how is this year for Tendulkar? Is it a good year? Who is the ruler of the year? Sun is the ruler of the year. And he is the third lord exalted in the 11th house. Is it good or bad? Very good. Look at the Dashamsa. Because career is most important. How is Sun? He is the 11th lord in Mankaraka Sthana. Badakesha in Mankaraka Sthana. Actually, yeah, that is true. So Sun is the Badakesha, so that will dominate. He is the Badakesha in the 12th house. Is that good or bad? That's very good. But who is he with? Moon. If 10th lord is with Badakesha in the 12th house, is it good or bad? Is it good for 10th lord?
No, it actually can be good. It's not that bad.
But it is bad. Do you see any great Rajogas of Tendulkar suddenly turning into a free-flowing strokesman and the whole India celebrating, yes, the return of Tendulkar? Do you see that? Are there any Rajogas in this chart? Any notable Rajoga? What? What? There is Chandramangal Yoga, yes. Let us see the Dasha running right now. Right now he is running Jupiter Dasha. Pardon me? But he is the 6th lord. Is sixth lord placement in Lagna good? He is also the third lord. The third lord is in Lagna. Does he show coming back or does he show taking a short break? But he is Jupiter. He is Jupiter. And third lord can also show break. Eighth lord can show retirement. Third lord can show short break. And look at Jupiter Dasha. Actually, let us forget all this. He is known to be basically away from. By the way, he had a surgery during this year, during this Dasha. Is it possible that he would have surgery during Jupiter Dasha? Do you see surgery from Dashamsha? Rashi chart. Is it possible that he would have a surgery during this year? Which houses will show surgery? The desire to overcome problems, fix problems, etc. 6th and 12th. 12th will show hospitalization. So 6th and 12th axis will show surgery. Who is the 6th lord here?
6th lord is Ketu and Mars.
Who is stronger?
Ketu is stronger.
Ketu is stronger. So Ketu is with Jupiter. So can Jupiter give a surgery? Can Jupiter give a some kind of procedure, medical procedure to overcome some problem? Yes. So it happened in Jupiter Dasha. Now he is known. It is known that he will be away for 4 months, away from action for 4 months because of this injury. So roughly this Venus Sun period, there is a chance of comeback. It could be either in Venus Dasha or it could be in Sun Dasha. Do you think that there will actually be a comeback or it will be delayed by a few more months? Is there a chance that he will actually come back in Sun Dasha and play cricket? Actually, I don't have the agenda. I don't know well. If they are playing during November 9 to November 29 in Sun Dasha, is there a chance that he will be back and he will do reasonably well when he is back? There is a quite strong chance because Badha in Ketu is going away. The Badha Lord is in the 12th house. So all the problems that have no tangible cause will slowly disappear. So Sun Dasha is very auspicious, but overall is this a good year or bad year?
Overall,
It's an average year.
I think so.
Yeah. See, Lagna is not so strong.
In
In the Shamsa. So Lagna is not so strong. Lagna Lord is not so strong, even though this Rajoga is good between Venus and Mercury. And is Venus Mercury? So he will not be back by then. Okay. So overall this is an average year. But how is 2006 for him? Will it be a great year? Will it be the year of the quintessential Tendulkar returning? Will that be the year? How is this year? First look at the Rashi chart and then let us look at the Dashamsha.
Saturn is sitting in the 4th house.
Pardon me?
Saturn is the Hora Lord, sitting in the 4th house.
Saturn is the Hora Lord. Yeah.
Lord of
Saturn is the Hora Lord in the 4th house. Nothing special about him. But is Lagna strong? How is Lagna and Lagna Lord? Because those two are important along with the Hora Lord. Lagna has exalted 5th Lord Sun. 5th house will show power, ability, recognition, fame, etc. And the Lagna Lord Mars is in the 3rd house. Is that good or bad? That's excellent. If a malefic is in the 3rd house, she shows basically a lot of fire in the person. Fighting with fire. And from Arudha Lagna, both Sun and Mars are in good houses. Mars is in the 11th house, Sun is protecting it in the 9th house. So Sun and Mars Dashas will be, you can right away say that Sun and Mars Dashas will be glorious during this year, without looking at any other factor, just based on that. And Sun Dasha will come during the end of 2006. And Mars Dasha will be running during the beginning of January 2007. So these two Dashas, Sun and Mars Dasha, are very likely to be very good for him. And how is Mercury, the 5th Lord? The Mercury Dasha is running in March, April time frame. How is that period? Yeah. There is a Rajoga. I don't know if anybody noticed. There is a Rajoga given by Mercury in the Dashamsha. Yeah. Right. In the Dashamsha, in the Rashi also, Mercury is the 6th Lord in 12th house in debility. giving Vibrita Raj Yoga. He joins 11th Lord Rahu, who is Badhakesha, again going into 12th house. So Badhakesha and 6th Lord are in 12th house. This is a better yoga than what we saw in this year's Dashamsa. So Mercury and Rahu are constituting a nice yoga in the Rashi chart. And in Dashamsa they are giving Raj Yoga, normal Raj Yoga, 5th Lord and 10th Lord. Rahu is in own house, don't forget it there. Rahu is own house in 10th. Mercury being the 5th Lord, they have a Raj Yoga. 5th and 10th shows some kind of recognition in career. So that whole Sun, Mars, Mercury period is very auspicious. Mercury will give? Yes, there is a Parivartana between Mercury and Saturn. There is a Parivartana, so Saturn Dasha is also good. So overall, from November, the rest of the year seems to be very good. And also, if you look at transits, do you remember his natal Rashi chart? His natal Janmarashi, what is natal Janmarashi? Sagittarius. So if you see the transits from moon, where is the, what Dasha is he running now? See, even though Drisaptatisam Dasha is applicable in his case, because Lagna Lord Mercury is in the 7th house, for some reason, I found much more consistent results with just Vimshodri Dasha in this chart. I don't know why. I don't have any justification. But like I said earlier, that conditional Dashas apply in most cases when they apply. But in some cases, for example, take even the Kendra of chart. Drisaptatisam Dasha applies in this case. But I see, when I look at the events that I know, Vimshodri is better in his chart than Drisaptatisam Dasha. Maybe that is why he doesn't like conditional Dasha. When I argue with him about Vimshodri versus conditional, he says forget conditional. But I do see several charts in which they work impeccably. Vimshodri is very fuzzy, but the conditional Dasha is impeccable. But there are some exceptions and I don't really understand why those charts are exceptions. And this chart is one such exception. In this chart, in my experience, when I look at many events, I looked at his course on so many days, I looked at so many events, because I was such a fan. And especially in my early days of astrology, I was such a big cricket fan. Now I am slowly getting tired of cricket, but at that time I was such a big cricket fan. I used to follow day to day his Gochara. Where is Moon today? Which nakshatra is he affecting? Like that I used to follow. So from Moon, from using Vimshodri Dasha, he is running Rahu Dasha now. And when you are running Rahu Dasha, Rahu's transit is very important for you. In general, remember that Dasha Lord and Antardasha Lord's transit is extremely important. So Dasha Lord is having a bad transit from Moon in the Rashi chart. It's in general not a favorable year. Irrespective of what other things show, there can be some setbacks. It can be a unsteady period. So Rahu is the Dasha Lord, and right now he is having a bad transit. He is in the 4th house. 4th house from Moon, what does Rahu do? He will destroy the Sukha. There will not be any happiness or comfort. But Rahu will change. When will he change? In this April or March he came to 5 feet. So 1.5 years later, that is 2006 November or so, around that time when Sandasha is starting. At that time, actually we can find out exactly. Let me open a new chart. Forget the Telugu etc. Just go to mundane. Rahu, after this date, when will he change Rashi? You can actually, using the software, you can find when will he change Dashamsa, Siddhamsa, etc. also. You can find out all those things. But let us say, when will Rahu change Rashi after this date? On October 11, 2006. So on October 11, 2006, Rahu is changing sign. And is Aquarius a good sign for him? When the Dasha Lord Rahu is transiting in Aquarius, is it a good transit for Sachin Tendulkar? It's an excellent transit. He is in own house. He is in the 3rd house. For Rahu, there are only 3 houses that are good. 3rd, 6th and 11th. So he is in one of the best houses to transit. From Lagna also you can see the transit. How is he from Lagna? 6th house. Again one of the best houses. From Arudha Lagna you can see the transit. From Arudha Lagna the routes are different. If you remember what I said in an earlier class was, Rahu in a trine from Arudha Lagna is very auspicious. He will protect the Maya very well. Whereas Jupiter in a trine will take away something from the Maya, take away some aid from the Maya. So Rahu is in a trine from Arudha Lagna, in the 6th from Lagna, in the 3rd from Chandra Lagna. So that is a terrific transit. So 2006 October to 1.5 years will be a glorious. This is my prediction, which I made it yesterday or day before yesterday on one of the Yahoo groups. My prediction is that Tendulkar will not retire, but he will have some problems, some nagging worry for another year or year and a half. But from November 2006, he will have a glorious period in his career. He will reach another peak basically. And like Wright said, who knows, he may even make 100 centuries. But there is no way to find out the number of centuries from astrology, but you can definitely say that he will do very well during that year. And if you look at 2007 also, you can go home and take a look at the chart. But again, this particular chart looks pretty impressive. But if you look at 2008, let us look at 2008 chart. How is 2008? Not even 2008, I meant to look at 2009. Look at 2009. The Hora Lord is Moon. If you look at 2009 chart, 2009-2010 chart. Moon is the Hora Lord, the ruler of the year. And in the Dashamsha, how is he? He is the 8th Lord sitting in 7th house. What does 8th Lord in 7th house do? Not spouse, this is Keri. This is Marana. 8th Lord in 7th house will give death in Keri. That is good. Ketu wants, why cricket? Cricket always gets boxed up. When Ketu is there in any Marana causing situation, he will act towards it. Yeah.
But the yoga won't affect them.
Which yoga? There is Gadgesari yoga. What does Gadgesari yoga show? Something long remembered, something auspicious.
Probably I think he will return with that.
And but the thing is Chandra Guru yoga auspicious there based on their ownership? Forget that they are Moon and Jupiter. The Lagna and 4th Lord and 8th Lord conjoining. Is it a auspicious yoga? No, it's not a Raj yoga. It's a Duru yoga. Duru yoga for Keri, but it's Gadgesari. So the overall conclusion should be his career will end that year, but not in a way like he's injured and then he can no longer play, he's done. Or selectors are unhappy with him and they sack him. Well, you are Tendulkar, you made so many centuries, but you are not doing that. Sorry. It will not be that kind of an end of career because there is Gadgesari. It will be something remembered, like Steve Watt's retirement. It was a well planned event. He knew when he was retiring, he announced it, and the Australian Cricket Association had such a big function for it. It was made into a big event, and the guy made a century and took away. He took away, India almost won the test. He took away the match from India and it was a draw. India could not win the match. So he retired on a very auspicious and high note. So probably something like that will happen to Tendulkar during 2009-2010. But I honestly think that I actually want Tendulkar to play for another 10 years, being a fan. But looking at this year's chart, my feeling is he will retire in 2009-2011 on some kind of auspicious and big bang. It will be, for me,
Big celebration.
with a big celebration. Yeah. But that has nothing to do with career. Actually, it could have with career also. The 10th Lord is basically affected by Rahu. That is another thing. If you see the Rashi chart, the 10th Lord Jupiter is Nicha, he is in the 8th house of retirement. He has Guru Chandala Yoga. So again, that also shows retiring that year. Yeah, but I want to stop today. It is just too late. If you try to look at it, to see if there is any chance of being a sportsman. If you don't see any chance, we will take up in the next class. Okay? With that, we will end for today. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Absolutely.